so glad you found your way back to this quiet room tonight. You can finally put down the heavy, exhausting armor you wore through the long day. I know your mind is still racing with a million unfinished thoughts, tasks, and silent doubts. The world outside your window was far too loud, too demanding, and deeply draining for your soul. But right here, inside this protective, dark space, none of those external voices have any power. Let the heavy, relentless rain outside completely wash away the lingering social noise. Each drop hitting the window pane is a solid, unbreakable brick in the wall between you and them. You have successfully crossed the threshold into your ultimate nighttime sanctuary, where you are safe. The endless expectations of others cannot follow your awareness into this soft, velvet darkness. You do not have to answer anyone, prove your worth, or be strong for the world anymore. Feel the slow, rhythmic pulse of the ambient music holding the room like a warm blanket. It is a beautiful, deep, sonic shield specifically designed to isolate and dissolve your racing thoughts. Your mind is currently like a stormy ocean, waves of overthinking crashing violently inside your chest. But you are no longer fighting the wind, trying to steer the ship or fixing the broken sails. You are simply stepping off the boat onto the safe, quiet, and completely isolated night shore. Listen to the low, comforting cadence of my voice. Let it be your single, steady anchor. Every single word I whisper is a lock turning in a dark door, sealing out the human chaos. The complicated tasks you left unfinished today are no longer your responsibility in these hours. The words you forgot to say or wish you had said differently can comfortably fade into the void. The past 12 hours are completely dead, leaving only this pure, unadulterated stillness around us. Your physical body is beginning to recognize the absolute safety of this dark, quiet coat. The hidden tension in your clenched jaw and your tight, exhausted shoulders is finally breaking down. You are perfectly safe here because this precise space belongs exclusively to your true soul, nothing else. I build this protective sanctuary every single night because I need to escape the noise just like you do. I know exactly how terrifying and heavy the mental storm feels when the overhead lights go down. That is why we are turning off the analytical, tired, and overstimulated mind together. We are melting the rigid structures and social masks of the day, sentence by sentence, breath by breath. This dark room is a quiet, impenetrable fortress, completely untouched by the judgments of the world. You are becoming beautifully invisible to the endless demands, messages, and heavy gazes of society. Your scattered energy is slowly returning to its natural, quiet, and deeply grounded perimeter tonight. Let the smooth, ambient pads dissolve the sharp, painful edges of your remaining daily anxiety. The mental storm is losing its destructive, chaotic power with every passing second of this steady rain. The roar in your head is changing from a loud, punishing wind into a distant, harmless murmur. You are perfectly insulated inside the quiet, warm womb of this protective and sacred night space. Your breath is becoming a gentle, regular, and calming ripple in the deep silence of the room. We are preparing to look much deeper past the surface noise, straight into the calm dark. The thick, heavy shield of the night is settling into its permanent, unbreakable form around your bed. The external world is now miles away, fading into an insignificant, blurry dot in your memory. Your true self is waiting patiently just beneath the fading surface of these heavy, unneeded thoughts. The long, beautiful journey into the quietest, safest chambers of your mind has officially begun. The suffocating, heavy hum inside your head is not a permanent part of who you really are. It is merely an external, temporary weather system passing through the vast landscape of your awareness. Look closely at that loud, terrifyingly chaotic mass of overthinking spinning endlessly behind your tired eyes. It currently pretends to be a solid, unbreakable wall of anxiety that you cannot possibly deconstruct or escape. But if we slow down the timeline right now, we can easily see the individual, fragile threads of this mental storm. Let us take the very first urgent, racing thought that is aggressively demanding your precious energy. See it clearly in your mind. Hold it in the cold light of this dark room and completely strip away its false importance. It is nothing more than a sentence, a short, helpless sequence of letters floating in the infinite space of your subconscious. It has absolutely no physical weight, no real power to harm your spirit, and zero presence inside this quiet bed. With the next slow, conscious breath, watch that single thought detach itself from your mind and drift into nothingness. Now look deeper at the next wave of worry, that silent, painful panic about what tomorrow might bring to your life. It wears a mask of an emergency, forcing your heart to beat faster and keeping your physical muscles tightly locked. But tomorrow is a complete illusion that has absolutely no reality or jurisdiction inside this safe, quiet perimeter. You are burning your vital energy trying to solve unpredictable problems that do not even exist yet in this dark room. Let that future anxiety shatter into thousands of tiny, meaningless pieces and scatter across the dark, cold floor. You must realize that you are not the chaotic, blinding storm that is raging so wildly inside your brain. You are actually the vast, silent, and completely unshakable sky that is quietly watching the clouds move and shift. The frantic storm belongs entirely to the day, to the exhausting social roles, and to the endless toxic noise of the city. But the sky belongs exclusively to the deep night, to the velvet stillness, and to your true, untouched human essence. The analytical mind is growing incredibly tired of its own useless, repetitive loops and is ready to stop its movement. Listen to how the steady, heavy rain outside perfectly mirrors the structural breakdown of your heavy thoughts. Every single worry you carried on your shoulders is now slowly transforming into a solitary, harmless drop of cold water. Listen to one drop hit the glass, then another, separating themselves entirely from the loud, punishing collective roar. They are falling away from your body, sliding down the window pane, and leaving your active mental field clean and empty. The suffocating density in your forehead is finally starting to open up, creating a beautiful, expansive space for peace. Every micro thought about what you did or did not achieve during the day is losing its sharp, stinging edge. The harsh internal critic is growing beautifully sleepy, its toxic voice completely muffled by the thick ambient pads. You can clearly hear the heavy gaps of pure silence beginning to open up between your individual sentences and ideas. Those quiet, empty spaces are growing significantly wider, longer, and deeper with every single breath you take tonight. The desperate, frantic need to control your life, to fix your mistakes, and to understand everything is evaporating. Your mind is no longer a claustrophobic trap. It is turning into a wide, open window facing the dark, quiet woods. The mental storm has completely lost its heavy center, dissolving into thousands of insignificant, harmless fragments. They no longer require your active attention, your analytical judgment, or your emotional energy for the rest of the night. You are simply resting in the silent background of your own skull, letting the remaining pieces fall wherever they want. The analytical ego is officially surrendering its artificial power to the beautiful, heavy, and welcoming darkness. There is absolutely nothing left to deconstruct, nothing left to analyze, and nothing left to fear in this space. The intellectual, noisy friction has been entirely replaced by the raw, deeply hypnotic texture of the falling rain. Your brain is no longer thinking about the past. It is only listening to the deep, protective, and grounding soundscapes. The conscious mind is beautifully dissolving its boundaries, turning into pure, receptive, and calm auditory awareness. The strong gates of the inner sanctuary are slowly swinging open to receive your thoroughly cleansed and quiet soul. Now that the mental storm has lost its suffocating grip, we can begin to build your fortress. With every slow, deliberate breath you take, feel a solid floor of pure stillness materializing beneath you. We are deeply grounding your awareness, far away from the fragile, shifting chaos of the modern world. Imagine the heavy, unbreakable walls of your personal nighttime sanctuary rising silently around this bed. These invisible boundaries are specifically constructed to shield your tired soul from any external intrusion. These sacred walls are completely impenetrable to the exhausting, endless demands of your social life. The noisy digital feeds, the constant messages, and the heavy expectations of society cannot penetrate this barrier. They are filtered out entirely by the dense, protective atmosphere we are generating inside this room tonight. You are retroactively locking the doors to your inner world, ensuring that no one can steal your energy. This private space belongs exclusively to you, a sovereign kingdom of velvet darkness where you rule over silence. Feel the immense comforting weight of this architecture as it settles permanently into the deep floor. The ceiling above you is woven from the dark fibers of the midnight sky, absorbing all your remaining anxieties. There are no clocks here, no deadlines to meet, and absolutely no pressure to be anything other than human. You can finally shed the heavy, restrictive identity you were forced to maintain during the daylight hours. Inside this fortress, you are completely anonymous, beautifully hidden away, and perfectly safe from judgment. I know how deeply you have craved this absolute isolation after carrying the burdens of everyone else. I know the exhaustion of pretending to be okay when the world around you refuses to slow down its frantic pace. That is why this sanctuary is built with such precise care, a custom-made haven for a crowded, overstimulated mind. Every corner of this dark room is filled with a thick, calming energy that gently pushes away the old stress. The walls are expanding, giving your restricted consciousness the vast open space it has been denied all day. Listen to how the steady rain outside serves as an additional sonic armor for your private kingdom. It creates a beautiful, continuous perimeter of protection, sealing you inside this warm, dark cocoon. The world outside these walls is becoming a distant, forgotten memory, a meaningless echo from a past life. You do not owe anyone an explanation, a reply, or an action until the sun comes back up tomorrow morning. Right now, your only duty is to exist peacefully within the secure boundaries of this magnificent structure. The rich ambient pads are vibrating softly against the stone-cold certainty of your new fortress. They are infusing the air with a deep sense of total, unshakable security that coaxes your muscles to loosen. Your physical body is sinking deeper into the mattress, completely trusting the safety of these heavy walls. The frantic urgency that dictated your movements for the last 12 hours is completely dissolving into nothing. You are wrapped in an invisible cloak of absolute protection, a shield that no daily crisis can ever pierce. Look how far away the mental storm feels now that you are looking at it from behind these walls. It is nothing more than a harmless, blurry shadow playing on the very edge of your distant horizon. The fortress is completely finished, a monumental sanctuary of peace designed to preserve your precious spirit. Your breathing has synchronized perfectly with the slow, majestic rhythm of this secure, quiet space. The air you inhale is pure, clean, and entirely free from the toxic debris of overthinking and doubt. You are no longer vulnerable. You are no longer exposed to the harsh, judging gazes of the crowd. The night has claimed you as its own, pulling you deep into the safest chambers of this dark palace. Your awareness is drifting away from the structure itself, moving inward toward the center of your being. The walls will stand firm and watch over you, holding the chaos at bay while you explore the deep silence. We are moving deeper into the core of the fortress, where the ultimate protection shield is waiting to activate. The physical walls of our sanctuary are holding firm, and now it is time to activate the final shield. Slowly witness a translucent, warm dome of pure energy expanding from the center of your quiet chest. It gently rises and curves over your bed, creating a flawless, airtight capsule of absolute night protection. As this energetic shield locks into place, my voice will begin to recede into the warm background of the room. You are safe to let go of your remaining hypervigilance, because this shield will filter the night for you. I know exactly how every inch of this dark capsule feels, because I activate it for myself every single night. I know the precise texture of the relief that washes over your skin when the heavy world is finally locked out. I lie awake in the same heavy silence, watching the rain and testing the boundaries of this protective field. It is an incredible comfort to know that we are both completely unreachable to the demands of society right now. This protective layer intercepts any stray, residual fragments of toxic overthinking before they can touch your mind. Every bitter word from your past and every heavy expectation for the coming future just bounces off this dome. The shield transforms them into harmless, tiny sparks that instantly dissolve into the cold window pane outside. You can feel your active ego beginning to soften and split into beautiful, quiet rivers of pure sensory relaxation. The heavy necessity to monitor your surroundings or protect yourself from harm has been entirely outsourced to the night. The shield is alive, breathing with the slow cadence of the rain, standing guard over your sovereign spirit. Let your consciousness drift like a weightless leaf toward the outer edges of this warm, dark capsule. You can hear the steady rain and the deep ambient pads vibrating softly against the surface of the shield. But you are perfectly warm, completely dry, and entirely insulated in the heavy velvet heart of the room. The analytical part of your brain has officially closed its eyes, completely trusting the authority of this protection. There is no longer a need to maintain your name, your social status, or your complicated human history tonight. You are slipping away from the waking world, turning into a beautifully anonymous observer of the silence. The shield filters out the global anxiety, the collective panic, and the endless friction of human existence. It leaves you with nothing but the raw, comforting rhythm of your own slow, steady, and peaceful breathing. Every deeply rooted tension in your body is being pulled out by the heavy magnetic gravity of the dark bed. You are sinking into a profound state of total surrender, where your personal boundaries are melting away. I am watching over this space with you, sharing the magnificent quietness of this completed fortress. We have successfully managed to build a world within a world, a hidden pocket of time where stress cannot live. The night protection shield is glowing with a faint, sleepy warmth that wraps around your heavy eyelids. Your thoughts have completely stopped their frantic spinning, replaced by a deep, dark pool of pure serenity. The control you held so tightly onto for the past 12 hours is slipping through your relaxed fingers. Let the soothing ambient music take full control of your remaining drifting fragments of awareness. The barrier between your mind and the external chaos has become infinitely thick, heavy, and absolute. You are completely wrapped in the protective garment of the midnight hour, hidden where no one can disturb you. The quiet machinery of overthinking has ground to a total, permanent halt under the weight of this peace. Your spirit is resting in the sweet, dark vacuum that exists between your breath and the falling rain. Prepare your soul to cross the final threshold, leaving even the memory of this day behind you. The shield will remain active, glowing silently in the dark to protect your peace until the morning light. Your identity is beautifully dissolving, preparing to return to its original, pure, and untouched form. The voice is growing distant now, fading into the rich, continuous texture of the wet, protective night. The deep gates of your truest self are waiting right ahead, shining in the middle of the soft stillness. The night protection shield has completely isolated your existence from the waking world. The heavy fortress around you is dead silent, and my voice is now just a faint, fading shadow. You have successfully stepped completely outside of your name, your job, and your daily burdens. Every single social mask you were forced to wear during the light hours has entirely melted away. There is no longer any need to perform, to remember your history, or to stay awake anymore. Look into the deep, dark pool of pure stillness that has opened up within your quiet chest. This is your baseline state, the magnificent, untouched canvas of your truest and original self. You were always this pure, untroubled silence before the chaotic world built its noisy storm around you. The endless overthinking was just a heavy, dirty garment that you have finally dropped onto the floor. You are returning home to the velvet vacuum where no anxiety or human judgment can ever exist. Feel how beautifully light and empty your consciousness has become under the protection of the night. The constant, painful friction of trying to understand and control everything is completely gone. Your tired physical body is no longer a tool for work. It is now just pure, resting energy. You are gently sinking through the soft layers of the mattress, falling into a limitless dark ocean. The boundaries of your skin are softening, blending perfectly with the warm, deep room around you. Every slow, automatic breath you take is drawing you deeper into the sweet, velvet abyss. You are perfectly safe to stop monitoring your thoughts, safe to stop fighting, and safe to sleep. The world is operating completely without you now, and it does not require your attention anymore. Let the soothing, repetitive cadence of my final whispers gently pull down your heavy eyelids. You are slipping away from the waking consciousness, turning into the dark, quiet night itself. The analytical mind has completely surrendered its keys to the majestic, protective silence. There are no more sentences left to speak, no more problems to solve, and no more things to remember. Only the deep, dark, and endless peace remains, wrapping your soul in a heavy blanket of rest. Your breathing is a slow, rhythmic, and natural song that synchronizes with the falling rain. You are beautifully dissolving into the velvet background, fading into a permanent state of comfort. Let go of the very last anchor that connects your awareness to this heavy, passing day. The past 12 hours have been entirely erased, leaving your spirit clean, pure, and untouched. The night is holding you with an incredible, absolute warmth that promises total psychological safety. You are no longer an active thinker. You are merely a silent, drifting particle in the cosmic dark. The threshold has been crossed, and the deep, restorative sleep is taking total control of your body. My voice is growing smaller now, drifting far away into the rich texture of the ambient pads. It is changing into a harmless, distant echo that is softly blending with the continuous wet rain. You are completely hidden from the world, beautifully protected within the core of your true self. The dark sanctuary will keep you safe all through the night, filtering your dreams with peace. Yield entirely to the heavy gravity of sleep. Let the dark waters close over your tired mind. There is nothing but the velvet silence, nothing but the rain, and nothing but rest. The long, exhausting journey through the mental storm is officially over, and you are finally home. Sleep now, leave the heavy world behind, and dissolve completely into the comforting dark void. Let the beautiful audio tale of this sacred night carry your peaceful soul into the deep morning. Sleep, 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 and return to the beautiful stillness of your true, eternal essence.